Alrighty. I see that we are indeed live. So hello everyone. Happy Friday,
Hello.
happy August. How's everybody doing?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
All right, now I got the YouTube chat up at least and the other stream.
It's
That
all
way if I have to go back and, all that fun jazz.
and all that jazz.
That's
As
an actual song reference?
yes.
I thought it was just a thing that people said.
Well, it can be both.
Oh hey,
I
my
think
chat notification for you streaming just popped in.
let's see here. I forget if All That Jazz is the movie itself. Yes, there is a movie called All That Jazz. Musical drama film. But I think I can't remember if also the play Chicago features a song called All That Jazz.
Alright, I should probably retweet that. Alright. Gotta give all the promotion.
All the promotions. We will all be promoted. Well, everyone, as you might hear by voice, I'm joined by my friend AnimeChristy. Also goes by
Hi.
also goes by Sapphire Heart Song, but I think
Not anymore.
yes, AnimeChristy is in the driver's seat.
It's just Christy. It's fine.
Alrighty.
Although, yeah, I used to be that one.
Oh, that one. Which one
I
of
used
that
to
one?
be that one. That one over there in the corner,
Oh, that one and that one.
being a little unicorn gremlin.
Aren't we all?
Everybody's a unicorn gremlin? Wow, that's amazing.
Actually, I think you just described most OCs in one sentence. Well done.
Unicorn gremlin? That's really it?
Hey,
Damn. Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting. No profanity. I'm used to having freedom.
oh yeah, you got
I'm not ready to go back to a lack of
gotta leave that shiz back at the
Ugh.
door.
Oh no, not this.
Yes, the
Not this
Ebonics.
again.
Before we dive in, I just want to give a shout to some folks who are regulars on the screen on these streams, and I appreciate it. Cotton Lum, Gojillion91, Trinary, A Voice of Reason. Let's see here, Master Riku. Oh, Komodo Steel, good to see you. Hello, Preston Cox. Oh, I'm grateful for return visits.
Man,
It's
so
always
many
nice.
people.
Oh yeah, I'm lucky.
Wait, we're all unicorns. The memes. Gotta love those memes.
Bring on the memes, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Oh, but do you know what I mean?
Alright,
Ah,
so. I mean, maybe. Also, hello, Blue Griffin Now Zora, I believe, on
I'm,
Twitch.
hello.
Oh, and Epic Boss. Hello, Epic
Yes,
Boss. Welcome.
I must properly.
I'm not streaming on my end, though I usually stream on Twitch. Although I haven't been lately, I'm sorry.
Oh, and to Pig Boss 99. Good to see you. So here we go. Let's see. I am trying something a little different tonight. So we're going to see if this actually works. That'd be nice. Neither body left. And no, that doesn't mean his body has left. It just means it's facing left. What am I doing here? Oh, do we already have a follower? OTB Blaze, thank you for following.
Oh,
Marvelous.
wow. Hey.
Alrighty, and for clarification,
By the way, Silver, have you ever set up anything on Streamlabs or anything like that, or what program do you use to stream?
this is Streamlabs right now.
Oh, okay, because I know on the website you can actually play around with a bunch of stuff like donations and the following and whatnot, like sound effects. And it's actually pretty fun. I'll have to teach you at some point.
Well, I've got a fundamentals of that going, but I could always use more.
Yeah.
And apparently, Dr. Tim's voices call him Papa Tim. Well, that's maybe a bit weird, as there's some who called me Tim.
I call you old man. That's all that needs to be said. Although you're not actually old,
Oh, yes, I
I
am.
just call you that for necessity at this point in our relationship as friends.
Even within by the brony dynamics, I'm a fossil. Mirror, mirror, I say.
You know, that voice isn't helping your case.
Mirror.
Man, to you too,
Hmm.
old man.
Hmm. Alrighty. But, Christy, how have you been? I haven't gotten to talk to you in forever and a day.
Yeah, really. I think like the last time we really talked is every time I like pop in on the MBS show chat going, "Hi guys, I still exist. I'm just busy. Hi." Things have been good. I after the semester ended in May for me, I traveled up to Manga Common's house in Kentucky, or traveled down more like since I'm from Ohio, and I've been living here for the past 3 months just trying to get my groove back, trying to get like all as much as I can done, I guess, before I have to go back home in 12 days.
12 days. Hey, ha. Back to school?
Yep, 12 days. I've been here for like 3 months.
Will will this be like remote? I mean, I don't know how each school is handling all this.
It's half remote, half online in my case in some areas. Okay, so classes like art history class, which is something I'm taking, like modern art history, that's going to be taken remotely, while I also have like an oil painting class that I gotta do at a necessity for my degree in studio art. There's also like a jewelry making class, which I'm taking as a necessity for my degree, and a drawing class, which, all for the exception of the oil painting class, are all physical. However, because art students need to be there and need to be present in order to have like their work assessed, not only do I have to wear a mask to class, I also have to wear a face shield.
A face shield. Now, in truth, I haven't seen
Mhm.
many people
You
with
know, like the
those.
kind that doctors usually wear in like into surgery, I guess.
For an
Like on Grey's Anatomy.
for an art project, could you rig up a face mask to give you more of, and a costume to give you more of a Darth Vader look? I'm Darth
I don't
Christy.
think that'll be possible, although if this is going to be like anything like my other classes, I have no idea how the heck I'm going to handle pulling all-nighters in a studio while I have to wear a face mask and a face shield at all time. Oh lord, I have stories from the last semester where I had a painting class just during finals.
Well, don't brush it off. Let's hear it.
All right, so it was finals of like the fall of last year, and it was me after of finals from another class that I had to be there in the morning because I had a weird schedule that semester because I had a late night class during Mondays and Wednesdays, but I also had an early morning class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So every Monday night at 8 o'clock, I would go home while trying to wait for the bus and just get home, usually around 9 o'clock, try to go to sleep, and, just come back home or come back to the campus the next day at 7 in the morning. Keep
Ugh.
in mind, I live 5 to 10 minutes away from driving distance from my campus. So it was the finals night of my late night class. However, in the morning, I had the finals for my painting class, of which I was not finished making my devilish, what is it, squirrel painting. I think I showed you that painting, Silver.
I think you did. I
Yeah, it was
Yes,
that painting.
at BronyCon.
And because I could park, like, right next to my building, because it was late at night, I left my car outside and went into the other side where my usual painting class is. It wasn't just me who was last minute, like, trying to get all the painting details in. It was also, like, half of my class. Procrastinating enough to where they were also trying to make their finals perfect.
uh,
I was there till 2 in the morning, and then I went home. Then I got up at 5 in the morning, and then, did the usual morning routine. I was so sleep deprived that I actually misread what bus I was on and had to run while sleep deprived to my class for my final that evening, because our school has this thing where you can't park in certain areas and you have to have like a certain pass for it, unless it's like a certain time past, like, oh, say 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock. So I didn't park like where I was the night before. I had to take a bus. So imagine me just being told, okay, we're having finals, here's some donuts.
Wait.
Well, let's all critique.
Wait.
I felt bad, but I slept through everybody's critique except mine.
Hang on,
and then I passed out even more.
You got donuts?
I
call shenanigans. None of my art classes
How do you
gave
call
donuts.
shenanigans? That was a true story.
Shenanigans that you get donuts and I live 5 to 10 minutes away. Well, I'm sorry. I live half an hour away from where I work.
wish I was kidding, but I'm not. Do I need to pull up the driving distance between my real address to Kent State?
I would actually be...
Well, not on stream. Nobody else should know my address, but
no, you
like send it to you via DMs.
You could just quote the actual, like, the literal distance. Just
give me a
just
second.
quote the distance. If anyone can...
Also, I had a question. Who's your favorite people to accept commissions from? I don't know if I have a favorite kind of person, but it's the people who are like, okay, take your time. Those people are nice. Which is mostly all of my commissioners. All right, let's see.
That's good.
Google Maps.
Also want to give a shout out to Bethany Lemonade for following. Much appreciated. And Bethany asks, what are you working on, Silver-Quill? I appreciate you asking. This is an OC for one of my Patreon supporters, Sniper Nighter. Worked out a pretty sizable array of poses facing one way. And I'm working on now facing the other because he has an asymmetrical design.
Okay.
And
in driving distance, it's 6 minutes for 2.3 miles away from my building.
I could think of worse commutes, although going on the wrong bus certainly throws a very real wrinkle. I'm more calling shenanigans, however, that you have donuts while you get critique. You know,
nah, Bansham gave us some donuts for like the very last day of class. Like, here's some donuts in the morning. Usually I have more, but you know. And plus, it was a relatively small class. There was like 10 to 15 other students that, were in our painting class.
Well, you know what I got for final reviews? Bitterness.
What?
Coffee not required.
If it makes you feel any better, I got a B overall in that class.
Oh, God.
Mostly for falling asleep because it was early in the morning.
Hey, believe me, I understand the feel. After this week, I was struggling as well. I needed a little caffeine shot to get through today.
Oh, and we got a question from Champ to Stay asking, what are your thoughts on Thomas and Friends? I never grew up on it, so I don't have an actual opinion to form, so I'm sorry.
Oh, dear. I'm afraid we give that answer a lot. I guess I'm friends with a phase of a generation that didn't really watch Thomas and Friends.
I mean, it was on PBS for like a little bit, but I just did not understand it when I was a kid. And I was super into cartoons and refused to watch anything that was live action or sitcom-y whatsoever until I was like 10.
Also wanted to give a quick
thanks. That's the kind of kid I was.
Also, big thanks to MLP Trinary for once again supporting me. It's very, very kind of you.
Oh, did you get a donation or nah?
I got a donation, which is very nice.
Hey.
It's very nice.
I don't know if you could hear me. That was a clap clap.
I was praying it was.
Okay.
Well, let's see here.
At AnimeChristy, favorite TF2 analysis character. Old Man Silver, of course.
Me.
Mostly because I don't really watch the series anymore.
Me. Well,
Hey, at least I said you and not somebody else.
it's true.
I could have said Maddie.
You could have said Maddie. It'd be a good choice to be Maddie.
Maddie is also a good character.
Let's see here. Preston asking, would I kiss Yona? No, she has seen Sandbar. I am not the kind to intrude on a relationship. Oh, proprietor. Oh, and Sniper Rider.
If I had any kind of choice to kiss Yona, it would be on the forehead and it would be platonic. And it'd be like, oh my goodness, you are so cute. I'm gonna give you a kiss on the head and I'm gonna give you a cookie.
And she'd probably tackle you for the cookie. Yona like cookie.
Yes, she would.
And she'd probably join you for donuts.
I mean, I wouldn't actually like go up to the voice actor and kiss them on the head because that's weird.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that would might actually get you thrown out of a convention.
Yeah, because that's weird. Don't ever do that, people. That's just weird.
Also, Champ to stay, good to see you again.
Please, for the love of God, don't do that.
Another returning, steady viewer of my streams, which I'm grateful. Now, here's where I get to test my grand experiment. We're doing science with art. Lord. So, what I've been doing is on each of these layers where the character is facing left, I've taken the body, put it on its own document, and placed that document into each layer. What I'm going to do now, what I'm going to try to do is neutral pose, and then I'm going to duplicate it and just make it so the character is pointing. So.
Pointing?
Pointing, yes. One little hoof gets rotated up, and then using the shear tool for sheer delight, I angle it. Remember, there's a artist, I believe his name was Jason Mraz at Art Play Mix. Wonderfully nice guy. Got to see him at a steady local anime convention. But one of the best things is that he said, when drawing, always make your own sound effects. And I've done my best. Now, yes, would I like to update them? This is the critical question. If I update them, will I see what I want? So, yes. Kinda. Oh, that kinda worked. But only kinda. I wonder why the body shifted on me. Well, the idea here is that rather than having to redo all these layers over and over and over and over, instead, if I just change the linked file, bada bing, bada boom, I can just make a character pointing and neutral and any other bodily pose, thereby cutting down the time I'm spending on individual poses by more than half, I think. So, this is partial success. Now, the ultimate question is, what happens if I switch back? It'll take a minute to register, and then it'll say, do I want to update? Yes or no?
I mean, I don't know. It's your choice to update, man.
It's my choice, man.
Also, I think we got another question for both of us.
Ooh.
What is our favorite conventions to go to?
Oh, yeah. You first.
Well, alright, so I've only been to a few conventions in my life, believe it or not. I've only been to Colossal Con in Sandusky, Ohio. I've been to BronyCon, and I've been to BabsCon once. And BabsCon was an experience just because I was part of staff. However, it was also my very first California trip. Unfortunately, due to finances, I don't think I could ever afford to go back there. especially after the first time I had to go. And it was also during school, so that was another thing that was going against me. Um, Colossal Con was my very first convention, though. It was an anime convention that is basically just nothing but a tropical party, and that is my aesthetic. And BronyCon, I have special memories with, mostly because I've met friends there for the first time and the last time.
Oh yes, last
So
year's
if I had to
BronyCon.
choose a favorite, okay, I'll choose BronyCon just because it's you.
Well, no, you don't have to choose because of me. I was gonna say
I mean, it's tied between Colossal Con and BronyCon, but I haven't been to Colossal Con in a long time, is the other thing.
well, I've had the pleasure of going to, well, let's be honest, multitudinous conventions. It's honestly, I never thought I'd be so traveled. I genuinely never thought I'd be doing such things. I'm not complaining though. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. Thing is though that each convention has its own spirit, its own nature, and so I really hesitate to rank it. I will say Brony conventions have been my favorite because there's something to be said for the unity of celebrating one show. You go to a sci-fi convention, an anime convention, they are grand. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's amazing to see what people
Mm-hmm.
do. But you see everyone doing like their own thing. Brony conventions, it's one show, fans of one show, and that's something special to me. Though I still
Mm.
remember going to Anime Expo in LA. This was what,
Ooh,
2015? Mayhap?
fancy boy.
Yes. Well, I was also, I think I sweated out at least 5 pounds. It was hot.
Also, forgive me if you hear like noises in the background, everybody. Unfortunately, somebody out there is mowing their lawn, or they're riding a four-wheeler. What? This
Yeah.
is a cul-de-sac, man.
A four-wheeler down the street? Jeez. Well,
Yeah, I mean, we have a four-wheeler at home, but nothing like that.
also welcome to Twist of Eight Puka. Thank you for following.
Twist. Hi, Twist.
Oh, you know.
Sorry, single out everybody else, but hi, Twist.
But
I'm so sorry.
no, it's all good. Although I remember for Anime Expo, it was my first introduction to Attack on Titan because I looked around at all the cosplayers and I just wondered, why is everyone wearing flight jackets and giant toasters? Never even heard of the series. Saw some guy in
I
the.
remember back in 2013 when that. Sorry.
No, no.
I just have my own story based on that, but go ahead.
Well, no, I
All
mean,
right,
the
so
only
it
other
was
thing.
2013. I was a teenager. I was a baboo. Go ahead.
Well, no, you were a baboo?
Sorry, what? Okay, I was a baboo, a tiny baby. Or not really a tiny baby, but a teenager and whatnot, who went to her first anime convention. And I went there with my mom. She was just as confused as I was, like, huh, why are there so many Attack on Titan cosplayers? Then there's mom, huh, what the hell are all these kids running around with all these jackets and capes and whatnot? And finally, the show came on, like, Toonami during the time, and she ended up watching it with me.
Did she?
She, as most parents do when they experience anime for the first time, went, what the hell am I watching? And she's the action junkie in our family. She doesn't want to watch The Notebook. What do women actually like to watch? I don't know.
Why are you
I really
asking
don't know.
me?
That's how.
What?
I don't know. You have a bunch of feminine women in your family, I think. I don't know your life. But my mom would rather watch something like Top Gun, or Fast and Furious is also one of her favorite movies. she's the action junkie in our family.
Well, it's funny you say that.
Uh,
My dad, who has been using this time to research the pursuit of happiness within the law and what that really means,
mhm.
which is it's fascinating to review all these cases. But then to decompress, he watched Die Hard 2 this week and was so tickled to talk about it. Just explosions everywhere.
Huh.
So that there's that. Cotton Lum asks, "What do I mean by giant toasters with Attack on Titan?" Well, I didn't know what else to call them. They're these weapons units that the characters wear, but they look like a giant toaster with swords sticking out of it.
Oh, you mean like the thing that makes them fly around and whatnot?
Oh yes, it shoots grappling hooks or cable lines of some such. But let that be a lesson,
Hmm.
everyone. Don't stick swords in toasters. You'll get a shock. Or you'll get eaten by a giant naked thing.
Oh Lord. Yeah, that was the thing that kind of like threw me off. Like, do I want to watch this in front of my mom? If she doesn't get it, I don't get it. I have no idea what the hell I'm watching. Though she did enjoy the scene where the one guy was yelling at the potato girl.
Oh, yes, that is infamous.
Yes. I forget what potato Sasha, I think. I don't remember. I never got back into Attack on Titan. It was never even my thing to begin with. I mean, I watched it and tolerated it just because I felt a necessity to as an anime fan, but I didn't really enjoy it. I hear it gets really good later on in season 3 when it ends, but I just never had the heart to go back to it. I'm sorry.
Well, if you want to ask, should I be showing my mother? I've got a story for you.
Oh lord.
Oh, and it's not even my mother.
Oh my. Okay.
Oh yes, she's excited now. This was at a local convention at a panel hosted by my friend Kaiju Nokami. He was doing a comparison between the original Japanese Go Lion and the American dubbed Voltron, Defender of the Universe.
Mhm.
We're talking about the Lion Voltron, not Vehicle Voltron. Well, what many people may
Mhm.
not know is that the nanny, who was something of a comedic character for most of the series, she doesn't make it to the end. She's actually gets killed in Go Lion, and so he was looking around and he saw, okay, it's entirely adults in the audience. This is great. I can show these rather graphic scenes. So he shows this scene where the nanny, well, takes a bullet. Which, man, if you told me that when I was a kid, I'd be like, what? But lo and behold, a mother and her son come in just as the bullet is fired, and they see this rather
Oof.
dramatic close up. And the mom just looks, takes her son, turns
Oh
around, and
no.
out the door like like a shot,
At least she didn't go inside Karen mode.
like a shot.
Let me guess. Karen's the new bullet word.
Oh no, I just like the shooting pun. You know, it's just a shot in the dark.
Okay, so it's not going to be like the friggin' oh, you owe me money every time you say this word.
Oh
Got it.
no. Well, I can't even penalize you for saying oof anymore because everyone seems to be saying it. I've been undone by modern culture.
uh,
Harumph and harumph.
yep.
Yep. But it's actually kind of funny you mention Karens because I have one other story for everyone, which really sums up this week for me.
Oh, goody. We get a r/entitled parents story right on stream.
Oh, no, you might be surprised there. You might be surprised. So
Might be.
I'm I'm sorry, but why I'm not sympathetic to your commute to school is that it's 5 to 10 minutes. I'm a little more than half an hour away from where I work. It's on the other side of the city and requires the freeway. Freeway. Meh.
Oh, I wasn't like asking for sympathy when I mentioned like, okay, I live this short distance away, but unfortunately, the school system has it where you can't park in certain areas. Like, you actually have to park at a different area. And in my case, I had to take the back area in order to get to the bus because morning and it's a nightmare. Anyways, go on with your story.
Well, I'm more, I guess, bitter resentment that you have this shorter commute. But it's like 6:50 in the morning, and I'm driving along at this really small intersection, and a guy runs the red light. And basically, he is right in front of me before I can even react, and we have a collision. So
Mm-hmm.
the thankfully, this is where the mercy comes in. No one is in the passenger side of either vehicle, which is where the collision occurs. But we are shaken, confused. My license plate is currently lying on the ground, and the passenger front of my car is pretty dang torn up. His car,
Oh, Lord.
this big Dodge Ram, its wheel is bent. And so I'm getting out, going to see this guy. He's not opening the door. I'm not sure he's conscious, so I'm knocking on the door because it's locked. I'm like, oh, I left my phone in the front seat. But as I'm going back, this woman comes up. She says, oh, I saw everything. Do you need me to call the police? And I was so grateful she was there because she called them. First, the paramedics arrived to make sure everyone's okay. Everyone's fine. There's no injuries. We move off to the side, and in time the police come, and we get this sorted out. My car is currently in the shop, getting repaired. So that's the week I've had. I think this week has actually been trying to kill me in some ways. But the name of this
Oh,
woman,
my.
the name of this
Oh,
woman,
my. I am so sorry.
uh, well, it hasn't
I do
succeeded
have a
yet.
story. I have another story that isn't mine, but my mother's. But I gotta answer this question at AnimeChristy. Have you seen OKKO? Your voice sounds like Enid's. OKKO, you fight till the end. You are my best friend. Let's be heroes. OKKO, let's start the show. Okay, I got that out of my system.
There you go. Well, but here's
Uh,
the punchline to this unfortunate tale. The woman who helped us, who was so wonderfully caring and even gave me contact as a witness, which helped one affirm that this guy ran the red light and saved me from a protected battle of he said no, he said. Uh, Her name was Karen, and
aw.
now I can never use that name in derision, ever, 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 because no, no, Karen was there for me in one of the worst moments of the week. So, I guess I'll have to come up with
Honestly,
another name.
that's the thing.
I feel bad if
I
you have
have a
names.
very sweet Aunt Karen. So when I say Karen, I'm mostly referring to like the cultural r slash entitled parents kind of quote unquote Karens. But I actually, and I hope a lot of people know this, it's not a stab at anyone whose name is Karen. It's just kind of the cultural thing, because my Aunt Karen is a total sweetie, but I actually kind of have a story about car wrecks that my mom actually got into when she was younger, and it was not her fault. It was mostly because her car was actually falling apart in her lap.
Ugh.
I don't know the complete context about the story, but I guess my mom was driving home or something while she was a teenager, and she was about to make a turn when suddenly her steering wheel fell into her lap. And she lost complete control and ended up crashing into the woman in front of her or behind her. I don't know. But either way, the woman came out. My mom was clearly shaken up, and she rolls down the window as this woman walks up, like, "Are you okay? Are you hurt?" Yeah, I'm fine. And then she shows him the steering wheel that came off her car. I don't know how old it was, but just oh my. But still, imagine having your steering wheel fall into your lap.
I'd rather not.
That's
That's
scary, especially when you're making like a sick turn across like a highway. Or not a highway, but, you know, like a bridged road.
Oh, that's a bridge too far.
Yeah, that's scary.
Oh my goodness. Well, she's, but everyone was okay.
Yes, everyone was fine. My mom was. Uh, she didn't get emotionally damaged because I guess it wasn't a thing back then, as dumb as that sounds. But yeah, she just came out with a funny story, I guess. A funny story that I am very having a hard time recollecting because it's her story, not mine.
Not no harm in that. I mean, if anyone wants to, if anyone wants to tell the story of how a Karen saved the day,
At AnimeChristy, why don't you make videos anymore? Not MLP reviews. You just don't do. Okay, there's actually a reason behind that.
it's called college.
Shortly after I got a brand new video program, I ended up using, you know, I ended up finding out that my computer's hard drive, like the C drive, was eating itself alive. Like the disk space was filling up like 100 gigabyte, or not gigabytes, 100 megabytes like every 10 minutes or so. And it came to a point where I couldn't use my computer, so I had to wait until a certain period of time. And it was all like during the quarantine because I can't use my computer if it's at max capacity. I tried that. So, when the time came around, I ended up coming down to Kentucky, and one of the first things we had to accomplish was get my computer fixed. However, when it finally got fixed, we had to do a factory reset in order to get that fixed. And while I was getting all my programs back, and I don't have like one of those disk drives on my laptop, I tried to go in and get like the code to the place where I originally got my video program. And what happened after that was it wouldn't let me implement it, so I couldn't read down my program. So it's like, well, I guess I'm no longer doing videos.
Aww.
Until I get like another $120, which I currently can't afford because art school and shopping list and other financial responsibilities. So that's what happened. And why I can't make any videos anymore. It sucks, but oh well, it's just how it is.
But folks can also help with working towards that goal of earning towards a new program, because you have commissions, yeah?
Yeah, but they're currently closed because other people have gotten to me first, like while I've been like trying to set up and like reestablish myself, I guess.
They got to you.
Yeah, they got to me.
Oh,
and
no.
I've also been working on other projects on the side artistically because that's been kind of my main focus. I wanted to make more art because I kind of find myself whenever I'm in school and I'm not like posting, I have this need to where it's like, I haven't done any work today. I'm terrible. Oh god, everybody's gonna forget me because I only post like once a month. Ah!
You do realize who you're talking to, right?
Oh, I know who I'm talking to, but at the same time, I've seen your video timelines. That's some labor intensive stuff, so it's understanding that you don't post more than a few months at a time.
I want it to be more, but weeks like this.
I get it.
Yeah, but we're still here. We're still alive. Yes. Oh, Champ to Stay has a question for us. What cartoons are you watching at the current moment? Well,
what cartoons?
What cartoons?
Go ahead.
I confess that the only okay, recently saw Transformers Siege, which is like the new trilogy, the start of the new trilogy, as produced by I think Rooster Teeth. So it's on Netflix, 6-part. It was fascinating to watch because basically it's kind of what I hope MLP will do. The kids who grew up watching Transformers are now writing for it, just as Lauren Faust did for G1 MLP. She created Friendship is Magic. Perhaps someday a young fan of Friendship is Magic will create the next big scene in My Little Pony, or another creation. Granted, I don't ever expect My Little Pony to take the same dark tones as Transformers Siege, which is very much a war story. On a slightly lighter note, I've seen a little bit of Star Trek Lower Decks. Don't know what to make of it just yet.
Right now, I've just been enjoying Mao Mao.
Meow meow.
Mao Mao.
Meow meow.
Mao Mao here is a pure heart. It's basically it's a cartoon about a cat that basically, I don't know what other character to compare him to, but he's basically like Batman, except he doesn't have the Bruce Wayne money. And I don't know how else to compare him. He's basically Batman.
But he's a cat?
It's about a cat called Mao Mao Mao. That's his name, Mao Mao Mao. And he has like a partner and companion named Badger Clops, which is unfortunately a mood, and another character named Adorabat. Beware of her screaming, though. They scream a lot in this show. But it's still a very good show. The animation and the backgrounds, oh my gosh, gorgeous. It's kind of like an action cartoon where all the villagers, and I know I have to keep it PG-13, but I need to swear just this once.
All right. Cover the children's
Everybody's
ears.
an asshole.
That's your swear. You're more conservative than I figured.
What? I figured during this stream, it's like, okay, don't swear, don't swear, don't swear. Mao Mao is just fantastic. I probably did not pitch it to you very correctly, but I hope you at least like watch a few episodes. It's a very fun show.
Well, I'll have to check it out. I'm behind on many a front, on many a show.
Well, it just finished its first season within a year. So, and they're 15-minute, or like, you know, one of those 10-minute episodes that are like condensed down to like the 15-minute mark whenever you're watching cable.
Aha.
So you could easily like get through like the first season within 2 days.
Well, I confess, mostly it's online stuff. I don't even have cable anymore. I just threw it out.
Oh wow.
I wasn't watching it. It cost money. So I was like, okay, bye-bye. Okay, I love you, bye-bye. And honestly, I haven't really... Primetime and I never really got along. Except for Perfect Strangers. I love Barkeeper Takumus. And Cousin Larry Appleton.
I know somebody asked like earlier, and I just kind of forgot this question about now. There's a show. I think somebody talked. I believe Ellie talked with you like during the last stream about a Gretzko.
Yes, we briefly.
They just dropped their. They dropped their season 3 trailer, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Though I don't know how I feel about the pop idol element that they're going for this season.
Did she become a pop idol?
I don't know yet. I mean, I'll know in around like August 27th when the season 3 drops. But oh my goodness, I'm so excited. My heavy metal queen's back.
And now you're singing.
I'm a very happy camper.
Now she's singing. Oh, she's singing. That's marvelous.
Yay!
I can always try to hit the high notes. I can't do it.
Bruh.
No, never been good at singing. Just not my thing.
I'm still gonna say bruh.
Dude, brah. Brah, dude.
Bruh.
Dude, brah.
Bruh.
Brah. What you doing, brah? Why are you singing, brah?
I don't know, bro. What about you? What are you doing?
Come on, brosif. Come on, mus homies.
I am not a brosif. How dare you?
I dare just fine. Thank you for asking. But Trinary
Uh,
asks, speaking of Transformers, who are your favorite characters from either faction? Christy, I don't know if you are a Transformers fan.
nope.
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 Do you know any Transformers?
Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Starscream.
No, there you go. You covered some of the.
Those are the only three I know.
Oh, that's a
Anybody else, I'm just going to go, huh? What? And then people are going to repeat their name, and it's like, I heard the name the first time. What is this? Don't tell me. Oh God, I don't know if anybody else has that pet peeve, but I say it all the time. It's like people say, "Oh, do you know what this is?" Who? Yeah, this. Okay, but that doesn't tell me who it is. I don't know if anybody has ever had that problem or if it's just me. Also, Adorabat versus Retsuko in a Scream Off. Who would win? Depends on the scream. Are we going with trying to do some ear bleeding damage, or are we going for the heavy metal scream? Because if it's the ear damage, that would go to Adorabat. If we're going for the heavy metal, oh, I don't know how to do the heavy metal raw. I've never been trained in that department, but Retsuko would easily win. So it's anybody's game depending on what you're going for.
Now, for me in Transformers, as well, speaking of screams, I've come to appreciate Starscream. He was the heart of the show. You had plenty of villains in the 80s who were mean to one another or really selfish, but very few could actually undo their own team like Starscream. He made it so the Decepticons lost a good chunk of the time. And so, how to put it? It's like I call him the Decepticon. The Decepticon. But I'll tell you all true, growing up, I really liked Ultra Magnus. Maybe because with Optimus Prime dead, he was the closest thing. But in time, I've also grown an appreciation for Rodimus. Because, well, everybody hates Rodimus. It seems. You go to Transformers sites and conventions, and it's rather amazing the amount of Rodimus Prime hate art I've seen. He's gotten blown up by lots of people.
I thought it was Everybody Hates Chris.
Well, in the Transformers universe,
I'm being a little... being a turd. Ignore me.
It's all good. So that's my favorite. I like the idea of a leader who's new to the gig. Although there is the, I just realized there's always either Pony reminds me of being a Transformers fan, or being a Transformers fan prep me for Pony. The big complaint I often see with Friendship is Magic, and this is fair, is that characters relearn the same lessons over and over and over and over. And
yes, because it's not realistic at all whatsoever that people relearn lessons.
Very true. But I think back to Rodimus, who would affirm that he had what it takes to be leader, but then by the next episode he was having doubts again. It's like one step forward, one step back. Hardly fair. Hardly sporting. Rather. So I guess that critique, it doesn't discourage me from being a fan, as I have seen many shows struggle with it.
I think people have a gripe with, Friendship is Magic, relearning lessons, because that's kind of, what the whole show is mostly centered on. That's where its foundation lies, friendship lessons,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why they complain versus, Transformers, I guess?
Oh, Transformers raised some issues. I mean, there's always critiques. Megatron develops 50...
Well, yeah, there's never, a there's there's never going to be like an airtight show. Like that's absolutely perfect unless it's Avatar. And even then, people have its gripes and flaws with like, you know, even the most airtight shows. And that's okay. I'm a shush now.
No, don't shush. I want to hear, but I'm celebrating because my experiment has worked. With this, I now don't need to.
What kind of experiment?
Where I'm able to swap the body of a character using an embedded image. Thereby, I just need to draw a body once, and then I can create an entire pose set faster. I'm rather embarrassed I didn't think of this sooner.
Oh no, how dare you realize something late in the game? How dare you?
How dare. How dare. MLP Disney Lover asks, do you need to know math to learn how to do animation?
I mean, learning how a metronome works would probably help you. That's what I know, but I don't think you need to learn completely.
I do not.
Like, it depends on the math, I guess.
I do not know a metronome. I do know math. Basically, you need to know how many frames are in a second, depending on the medium. A movie has 24 frames in 1 second. TV usually has 30. And that varies as technology advances. And then you divide that up to measure out the animation. So I think that's very clever. Truth be told, I feel like I should have Minty Root on here sometime just to... Minty's thoughts would be phenomenal on what you need to know to be...
especially for animation. I only say a metronome because I remember back when I was at an animation phase, like I wanted to learn how to animate, I picked up an old book that featured traditional animations, and one of the key factors that was labeled in that book was they keep a metronome around in order to figure out how many frames would be in a second. And metronomes, I also found, also help if you're in the bartending business because they have to do counts of liquor every time they need to pour.
And a metronome sets that for them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, sometimes people have trouble, like, remembering how long a second is. Like, you gotta do it, like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Meanwhile, other people are like, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know?
Well, honestly, I still do 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. I don't know why it's Mississippi.
I don't know. I've been watching a lot of Bar Rescue and learned a lot about the bar industry just from that.
Yes. You briefly mentioned that before we started the stream. What is Bar Rescue?
Okay, so if everybody in the chat knows what the heck Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares or Restaurant Impossible, it's basically that, but with bartenders. And it features a guy named John Taffer. And what kind of got me super into the show during the time, because Manga Common's the one who introduced it to me while we are living together. They had a restaurant or a bar in Akron, which is nearby my hometown, Kent. And unfortunately that bar was closed, but anything revolving around my hometown, I am automatically interested in. Like, what? This is happening under my nose? I need to know. But yeah, I kind of got addicted to listening John Taffer call out other people's BS.
That BS
also, why are
is
people talking about Blitzy in the chat? This is my stream, remember? No, I'm kidding. Anyways.
Well, let's see here. There's a question for you. Have you ever seen Citizen Kane or 1933's King Kong?
That's where I gulp and tug at my shirt collar.
Is that
because I haven't seen either.
Well, then I know what assignment to give Manga Common next. Although I wonder, surely
Oh no.
manga has seen King Kong.
I don't know that actually. All I know is that he has a full DVD set in a metal tin for Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I
A
d-
show of which I have been interested in seeing but haven't had the chance to.
oh, it's magnificent. It is. It is.
But yeah, he has like a metal tin with like all these characters. I thought Mystery Science Theater 3000 was just a bunch of guys sitting at a movie theater and calling out movies BS.
Well, it is, but they made characters to do it. Like you see puppet robots.
Oh, so it's like the Muppets. Got it.
Ah, it's its own
Well,
thing.
I mean the cover of the tin reminds me of the Muppets. So I'm assuming that why is the name of the guy who created the Muppets in that entire studio? His name escapes me.
Jim Henson.
Yep, that's the guy. Yeah, it reminds me of something that would come out of Jim Hanson's hand.
Well, I think you should first see it and
I
compare
feel
compare
so
the humor.
terrible for forgetting his name.
Ah, don't worry. We all suffer memory lapses. A couple weeks ago, when I was streaming with Grand Paws, I had to be reminded that we did a panel together at BronyCon. A panel. How do you forget that?
How dare you forget?
How dare indeed.
You, was that 2018 when you were vending with me?
Um.
Or quote unquote vending?
What do okay, yeah, I was mostly running, lots of running,
You
and
were mostly running and had Manga Common take over your side of the
twice,
your
several
side of
times.
the booth.
Yes, I felt bad. At one point, here's the thing: I had to leave my phone with him if he needed to run a card, which meant I'd lost my one timekeeping piece, and that means I lost track, and he had to. He was waiting. I didn't realize he needed to go, so again, I felt
Mm-hmm.
bad. So BrodyCon, it's wonderful, but it it
Yeah.
it tests relationships.
Oh boy, have I seen the Godzilla from 1954. Another gulp and the choke on the collar as I go run away and turn off a light that I forgot was on in the bathroom.
That's an interesting way of hiding your shame. 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 Ah, but anywho. All right, well, I'm going to change artistic gears for a minute. I'm very happy that now I can produce an even greater diverse set of poses for Sniper Nighter with just a simple few clicks of the mouse, which is a huge time saver. But there's another matter, and this might help with be of appeal to other folks. Backgrounds. I need backgrounds, and right now, no one in the fandom is, as far as I know, is really doing backgrounds. So,
I mean, I want to do a bit more environmental art. I don't know how to do it though.
well, I'm working on the head mayor's office because
Oh, nice.
that will be the point for the next step in Pinkie Pie Says Goodnight. Though,
Mm-hmm.
because of the events of this week, I'm going to have to really readjust my plans. I mean, getting getting in a car accident shifts everything.
I
So,
mean, yeah, that would shake in anybody. Oh Lord. Okay. I sort of have something. I have a couple of stories kind of relating to that. When all right, so Kent has a series of like remote campuses that are in like different areas of Ohio. So during my first couple of years of going to Kent State, I was actually at a campus that was about 30 minutes away,
mhm.
30, 45 ish. I found out that my muffler completely fell off of my original car. So I had to leave that there so it could be fixed. However, I had to take the spare car, quote unquote, which I call the death trap,
Ugh.
and I didn't bring my phone with me. This is where the story gets interesting. So after class, it was around 5 o'clock. I was just ready to go home. And here I go into the smelly car that smells like the 1980s. You know how that is. And lo and behold, before I can get on the highway back to where I'm from, suddenly the car stops in its tracks. I don't even know where the hazard lights are on this car. That's how bad it is. So I'm sitting here, stuck in a car where I can't call my parents, like, what do I do? Or I can't even call, like, AAA if I wanted to. So I'm sitting there, traffic's moving, people are beeping behind me, meanwhile I'm, like, motioning my hand, like, go around me, trying to figure out why isn't my car moving.
Ugh.
Like, it's just sitting there dead. So, turns out I had to wait for it to warm up and let it, like, ride a bit. Like, it would shake from the bottom a bit, and then it would be like, okay, I'll work now. So, imagine being that, having that happen when you're just on your way home from, school, and then you go back home and it's like, this was a death trap car. Why did you stick me in it? Well, you kind of had no other choice, now did you? No, but I'm still mad that you didn't tell me this beforehand. Why didn't you call? I show my phone that was left on the stand. Oh, okay. 2 years later, at the current campus I reside in, my Plymouth, which was my main car at the time, was already dead. Not only a few days later, I had to go into the death trap car and the same thing would happen, except this time the engine was smoking.
Ooh, smoking.
Now, it was smoking, and I found out later on, I forget what it was called, but it was like a belt got loosened
The
or
radiator
something.
belt?
It was a car belt. Yeah, that was it. The radiator belt completely was busted.
Oh.
And yeah, I tried calling AAA and explaining to them my situation. I tried to tell them where I am. Okay, I'm at Haymaker, or not Haymaker, Manaway Street. Now, Manaway does not look like how it's spelled because this is Ohio. Everything looks and sounds weird because it's mostly based on an Indian culture, like a Native American Indian culture. And that's where, like, most of the names, like, most people call, like, Cuyahoga, like, Kuyaguya or some crap like that. I don't know. But I'm trying to explain to the lady over the phone, look, I'm on Manaway. This is how it's spelled. I'm nearby the light. I'm like 5 minutes away from my house. This is where I am. Send somebody here. Luckily, though, a gentleman who just so happened to be riding a tow truck saw my situation while I'm like waving my hand to go around me, as most people usually do. And he was able to take me home because he was affiliated with AAA.
Oh, nice. Oh, thank
But yeah, the death trap car, that's what I called it, and it'll always be that way.
Still, unintended theme tonight seems to be the kindness of strangers.
Yeah,
You've
which
got
is lucky, blah, blah, blah,
you've got
blah.
you've got your fellow with the tow truck. I've got a Karen, a literal Karen.
uh, oh, I got a question earlier. Who are your biggest influences for your art? Currently, I don't have any, but it's been developed and changed over the years on what I would like to, like, say who my influences art are. Uh, I I would probably have to say Sasuichi and Hayananatsu right now are my bigger influences for my art because I've been mostly focusing on anime lately.
who was an
That and my current hmm?
who was like when you were growing
Sorry.
up? Whose art, like either animation or just seeing a painting, what really fascinated you?
Oh, that would probably be growing up. It would probably be Matsuri Hinu, the artist who created the manga Vampire Knight. If anybody knows what that is, that was like one of my very first mangas in my lifetime.
Ah, excellent.
And for your translation, Silver, because you probably have no idea what that is, just think a slightly better version of Twilight, except with schoolgirls.
Well, technically, Twilight features schoolgirls. They're just not really human.
Not like the Japanese schoolgirls and whatnot. And it's a really weird story. And out of context, actually, no. In hindsight, it's a really weird ass story that goes into some not very good things, not very politically correct situations.
Oh dear. Well, an anime with a weird story.
But I really like the art.
Water wet.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you later on, all right?
Alrighty. Let's see. I have some questions as well. Uh, Gojilian91 asking which videos you collab with are your favorite. Basically, what are some of my favorite collabs? I really get a kick when someone like Josh Scorcher is willing to just go with the jokes, and we play off each other. There's this friendly antagonism. I think that works really well. Let's see. That's also worked with Eliora.
I'm secretly his favorite collab partner because I didn't have that many lines to give him.
Yes, I've gotten to cameo
Sorry.
I've gotten to cameo, and I keep promising a video with Safi and Torterra, but then then life gets in the way, and well, again, it's me.
That's all right, man. You're good.
I get there eventually, but oh boy, do I take the scenic route.
You're good, man.
Let's see here.
What do I think of Yuki's character in Vampire Knight? I don't know how I feel about Yuki now, but when I was a kid, I was like, I like her. She's cute. That's all you need to know.
Have you checked out of anything of My Hero Academia?
Not as of late, but I've been mostly just following the anime. I know I could easily read the manga and like just catch up with the story altogether, but I like to keep it a surprise for myself. That and I like to officially support the manga, which unfortunately manga costs a lot of money for a volume. Like what, $10 for a single volume of manga?
Mm-hmm. Well, if it helps, I guess this will count as a plug. Viz's website has you can read 3 chapters of Shonen Jump for free at any time. Usually it's the most recent 3, so
Oh, nice.
sometimes you just gotta dive
What's
in.
the catch?
They advertise the manga at the end of each chapter. That's all. No, it's free to read. The 3 most recent chapters, and they tell you when the next chapter will be due out, so you can keep tabs and not have to pay. But then, oh, the temptation to go back and read your favorite parts. Because if there's one thing I can credit manga and anime, it's that they evoke an emotional reaction. I fell for anime for a while back because it evoked emotions in ways American movies couldn't, or American TV didn't. That's changed as I think America the animation industry has taken some lessons from manga. But even so.
All right. So here's a question that I have that I don't think anybody's actually asked, like, at least tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite anime, Silver? Or no?
Probably Sailor Moon.
Like one single anime. It doesn't have to be like in a certain genre, just one thing that you can go back to and still enjoy, even if it's flawed.
Oh, Sailor Moon, to be sure. But not Sailor Moon Crystal. I understand it's closer to the anime, to the manga, but I grew up watching fan subs of the anime and just loving the characters. Again, kind of preparatory for My Little Pony. Funny how that works.
For me, my favorite like anime overall is Space Dandy. Like I know Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop are a lot of people's favorites. I just like the goofiness of Space Dandy. It definitely came out during a weird time in my life, and I actually had to drop it when it was airing on Toonami for a while, just because, okay, maybe I shouldn't be watching this like right at this moment. Just because my mom had her appendix burst when the anime came out. But I was really excited for that anime. But when I did finally sit down and watch all the episodes of Space Dandy, I don't know what it was. It just struck a chord with me. It made me laugh. It made me cry. It was just my favorite anime of all time, and I don't think there's anything to top it for me.
Well, it certainly has the best description in anime. Space Dandy is a dandy guy in space. He
No, you
combs
gotta say it like this. Space Dandy is a dandy guy in space.
he
That's
combs
how
the
you do it.
universe like his pompadour. I love the
I
zombie.
forget the rest of the intro. But yes, Viva Namida. Mwah.
I love the zombie
Gotta love
episode
it.
of that.
Where they just go in and just eat nothing but yogurt just to try and veganize themselves.
And basically, zombieism spreads throughout the entire universe, and we are all one in brains.
Then there's Emo Dandy.
Oh God.
I wanna die.
Let's see here. Earlier a question from Preston Cox. Do I like being the TF2 heavy? Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. I have never played TF2, so mostly I was chosen because my character takes copious amounts of physical abuse no matter what. So I like being the TF2 heavy as much as I like being the universal punching bag. It has its charm and its demands. Also, the question of do I like Pinkie Pie? Oh, I'm very much a fan of Pinkie Pie. Although funny enough, if you put a gun to my head and had me rank my favorite main six, Pinkie would actually be number 5 on the list. Mostly because she's so exuberant and positive, I can't keep up. I don't think I could. I don't think I could ever match that. But I empathize with her maybe a bit more than Rainbow Dash's athleticism, which is why, as much as I like Rainbow as well, she's like my sixth most relatable of the main six. Excuse me, little distress there. Oh, here's a question for us both. Would you prefer Twilight keep her title of princess or change it to queen?
Well, you can call her whatever she wants, or you can call you can call Twilight whatever you want. She'd be a queen though.
That is her
Wanna know
genuine
why?
function. Why?
Because all women are queens. I'm not even gonna finish that meme though.
Honestly, talking about queens,
I'll let the chat do it for me if they want to.
mostly I hear queens and I just think, Mama just killed a man.
Ooh. That or the cross-dressing video of I Want to Break Free, if anybody's ever seen that.
Don't think I have.
I stan Rogerina. Okay, so this was censored on MTV during the day, but there was a Queen music video where it was just nothing but the main band members. Band members. Why did that not exit my mouth correctly? I don't know. And they're all cross-dressing. I stan Rogerina though. She is prettier than most women I've ever met. That's not true, but yeah. uh,
Let's see here.
but
Oh,
yeah.
what would you say was the best part of 2020 to counter some of the negative events?
I'm trying to think other than like my own personal details. I unless it's like my own personal thing, I don't know how to counteract it.
The best
Do
thing
you?
for me, well, if we're going to go on the national scale, it's that in a time of crisis and uncertainty, people are stepping up. That there are people who are doing 3D printing to make face shields for health professionals. There are people who are donating money or supplies to hospitals in need or to make sure protection. Believe me, I wouldn't wish this situation on anyone, but the silver lining will always be that when things get rough, the people step up and show their best. And that's
Mm.
if we ever reach the point where something terrible happens and nobody tries to offer aid or support or positivity, then I'll know we're lost. But thankfully, we are not there yet. Although perhaps the highlight of 2020 will be when it ends. And I know,
Amen to that. Let's
I,
all get drinks.
I know that 2021 will not rolling the clock will not magically end the current situation, but I do believe that the new year at least reminds us to hope for the future and see what comes of it. Goodness knows when we celebrated 2019 into 2020, it was like, okay, new year. Oh, that lasted about 2 months.
And you know, a lot of people, including myself, were hoping to get our lives like back on track up until this whole pandemic came about, which is very sad for me personally, just because I had so many plans of which I am trying to work out now, but my cousin was supposed to get married too. I feel bad for her, especially right now.
My brother had to speak at a wedding, and they weren't doing any social distancing or precautions. They were, well, throw caution to the wind. So he self
Oh,
quarantined
right.
for 12 days before getting test results back saying he was clear. That was just this past Wednesday that I finally got to see him for the first time in 2 weeks. We have socially
Hmm.
distant gatherings in my parents' backyard. So little
Now,
victories, little victories are what see us through.
hmm. I'm slightly grateful though that the pandemic has come in to cancel conventions. Not because I don't want to like go to cons or have anybody like support other artists, because that's just cruel thinking, but I'm only thankful because I have the time to make new merchandise for cons of the future.
Welcome to the world of the future. Have you done?
Actually, I'm currently having candy bag keychains made
Ooh,
for like Pokemon, like water type keychains that I'm very excited to get in the mail because one side's gonna be holographic, and meanwhile, it's like a shaker bag charm, and it's going to be fantastic, and I'm excited for that. And there goes the dog.
well, he likes Pokemon. But wait, did you say water type Pokemon?
No, there is no Mantine. Oh my god.
Now,
I know your thing against Mantine.
actually,
Which was all started by me, by the way, everybody.
and Norman. But actually,
Mostly.
I thought you said Gwar type, and I was like, Pokemon and Gwar do not mix.
No, no, water type. I have a set of like Milotic, Lapras, and Primarina keychains I ended up making, and I am very excited for that.
Yes,
Can be fantastic.
yes, I think that's another critique I can give of Mantine. It's not Lapras. But then every water type Pokemon
God.
is at fault for not being Lapras, unless it's Lapras.
Oh my goodness, Sealy. I think Steven's home, maybe, or Common. Oh well, his name has already escaped and it's all live.
You might say it's common knowledge.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Oh, she's trying to play it. Oh wait, you just pulled a Sundere. Yeah, sure, whatever. It's not like I'm laughing, Baka.
I mean, I've always thought I was the tsundere of the community.
Sundere, Sundere,
Or maybe
Sundere.
that reward goes to Ellie. I don't know.
Ellie.
I wonder if people are just outside making noise again. I don't know.
But let's see. Oh, big arc on this thing. Whoop, whoop. Oh, there's those sound effects again. Let's see here. Try an area. Your lack of taste regarding Rainbow Dash disturbs him. Well, it's not that I dislike her, but yeah, I guess I'm not quite the Rainbow Dash fan as others.
And hey, that's alright, man.
That's why I only keep Best Pony to the scope of an episode. Because
Come on, Sealy. Up on the bed.
because Rainbow Dash in
Sorry.
Hurricane Fluttershy was like the best pony because of how supportive she was. But what was it? Fluttershy in Tradia, best pony because she's going above and beyond for her friend.
Mm.
So in the moment, you can win best pony for an episode.
Uh, yeah. Although Best Pony, while it used to be Rarity for me, is going to be Starlight for life. And if that makes you mad, then oh well.
Actually, I felt kind of bad for Starlight. I don't think she exists in Pony Life because when Trixie had her debut episode, she talked about her best friend herself. It's like, no,
That
no,
makes me sad.
where's Starlight? No, come on.
Starlight's probably going to have her own redemption episode or whatever in that show. I don't know. I don't keep up with it.
uh, my thing is, it just keeps going. They keep releasing more and more new titles. Like, wow, this must be cheap to produce because they are going full tilt. Kamodra Steele asking, do you think Flurry Heart is going to grow up in the shadow of Spike and her aunt?
I don't know. Probably. I mean, she had a whole entire stained glass to herself, so I wouldn't know. Maybe she struggles with it in one non-canonical episode, and then she finally finds her way. Like, what was it? Twilight's Kingdom?
Yes,
She's no longer smiling and waving. And she's developed her own individuality.
even though a great deal of smiling and waving is still required.
At AnimeChristy, why are you Sparkle Horse Incarnate? Because I sparkle.
Sparkle,
Isn't
sparkle,
it
sparkle.
obvious? I'm the sparkly cotton candy pony, remember? Or at least I used to be.
Yes, as you storm your way to claim a castle. Or, no, the Friendship
Yes.
Clubhouse.
Yes. That was a glorious moment. And that's where I reside. For the rest of my life.
For the rest
That's
of your...
where I'm leaving Sappy. She's just gonna claim the sparkly, made for toys castle, and that's just going to be the rest of her life.
Although, shall we note the supreme irony that this castle screams made for the... Rather, the Clubhouse of Friendship screams made for toy, but no toy was ever made?
That
Yeah.
is ironic.
Yeah,
But
digest
who
that.
cares? It was sparkly. I wanted it.
Let's see here. Rainbow Dash's home, which one?
How did you and manga come? Go ahead.
Oh, it's just noting there are more than a few locations which could have been toys, but never were. And that's odd. But how did you...
I mean, Hasbro was probably aware of how expensive it would have been to make and was like, nope.
Nope. But yes, the question before us: how did you and Manga come meet? Go on.
How did we become a couple? I mean, we met on Skype. The first thing he said to me was, "Hey, I like your profile picture," because it was Yu-Gi-Oh themed. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Manga is a huge Yu-Gi-Oh fanboy. I'm in his room right now. There's like multiple shelves of Yu-Gi-Oh manga. There's tins everywhere of like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, both underneath his desk, on top of his desk, and in different shelves and across the room. He's a Yu-Gi-Oh fanboy, and according to him, that's only a fraction of his collection. Anyways, aside from that knowledge, I don't know. It didn't develop in like one day. It developed within the span of like less than a year. And I had a huge crush on him. He wasn't sure if he wanted to be with me until we met at BronyCon for the first time. Well, I knew he liked me because the first day at the airport, he dipped me down and kissed me.
Well, there you go.
Stole my first kiss, so. uh, but yeah, after he was like, okay, we'll give this a shot. 4 years later, here we are.
Marvelous.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Also, Champ to say is asking what happened to your castle. Well, I'm going to answer that for you. It became a sparkly castle and then I claimed it. So it's technically my castle.
But I still claim the
The
outer
show
must be
can
skull.
say whatever it wants. It's my castle.
Yep, continuity done blowed my castle up to make room for the sparkly Clubhouse of Friendship. So I have to rebuild in a new location. And apparently not try
Which
to...
is mine.
The funny thing is I started that castle because I thought they were going to leave the Castle of Two Sisters in the wind. Well, give the show enough time and it does revisit ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a question, and this one I want to treat a little more seriously. What is your advice to a creator facing self-doubt? And boy, I can tell you that self-doubt does not go away with time. I mean, I still wrestle with it every time I'm doing stuff. I feel it every time before I hit that live stream button. So
Yeah, I was kind of feeling that like right before we started streaming as well.
So my advice However,
go ahead.
Well, my advice is the doubt is always going to be there. It's just a part of the creative process. The real trick is it's not about not feeling doubt. It's about not letting that doubt hold you back. Resisting the creativity. I really hesitate to just throw out the old Nike "just do it" or I forget who was it, Keanu Reeves who made that a thing then?
Yeah, it was Nike.
or was it
Anyways,
John Cena?
I do have I do have a thing though, like to also answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is not general advice because it's definitely not going to be for everybody, but I take the Ron Swanson, Kamina approach when it comes to my self doubt, because I used to be super self defeatist. Like whenever I get nervous, I go into like a spiral. I go into like the spiral breakdown of, oh god, I'm never gonna be good enough, and then it just gets worse and worse. Well, I got sick of feeling sorry for myself, so what I ended up doing instead was saying, nah, fam. So, especially when it comes to my art, I like to learn a lot of things and I like to absorb knowledge in order to keep learning and to keep going, so I'm not just stagnated or my art looks fine one day and it doesn't look fine the next day. I push forward and just reach deep inside myself and go, nah, get off your butt. You are not going to feel sorry for yourself. You're going to get out there, you're going to kick some ass, and you're going to like it. And if I see you whining one last time, I'm going to punch you so hard you're going to feel it. both emotionally and physically. This isn't for everybody, but this is how I keep myself motivated.
Well, threat of
I just want to be
self-violence.
able to push myself further, is the point.
I get you. Though, I also think back to a movie starring Sean Connery, Finding Forrester, where this young man is a potential writer, but so he goes and he through a series of events, this very reclusive but famous, the great American novel author is coaching him, gives him a typewriter, and as the kid's just sort of staring down and looking at it, Sean Connery's character goes, "Punch the keys, for God's sakes!" And the kid just starts writing. And there's this, "Yes, yes, there you go. Now you're the man now, dog." Which, I mean, I've seen Sean Connery be far wider than that, but maybe that's where I got the inspiration for my ebonics.
Yeah.
But
yeah, my main approach. I kick myself in the butt until I find myself some self-motivation. Although right now, there is a backlash to that approach, which I will explain. I'm at that point where I've been drawing so much that now I'm at that point where I need to take a break because I realize, crap, I can't draw anymore. My hands won't do the thing and they're going, haha, suck it.
You have a very interesting conversation with your body.
That's my cognitive attitude. My hands are going, ha ha! You're gonna suck at art for a while. Just deal with it.
Well, a little breather helps. You know, part of me's been saying, dude, you need to throttle back. I know I'm not big in video production at the moment, but I've been doing Pinkie Pie Says Goodnight. I wrote a review for Transformers My Little Pony, Friendship in Disguise. Been steady going on, well, online conventions, which, by the way, another highlight to 2020. Even though the physical conventions have been shut down, the electronic ones carry on, showing that fans find a way.
Yep.
But it is...
Yeah, I'm currently working on like an online shop for myself, like outside like Etsy and other places. The only issue is I gotta find more material to sell.
I was wondering if you'd had a chance to vend at an online convention.
I did during the first Pony Fest online. I got into the very first one, and the next thing I know, I've tried to apply again, and they were like, "Nah, fam, you get it." It's like, okay, all right.
Help an old man. What?
I mean, I no longer had any keychains to sell since keychains are a little expensive to make, and I sold all mine at the last BronyCon.
What is fam really supposed to be? I hear people do it, but it always seems
fam is like a shortened version of family.
But it always seems to be used in a sarcastic, mean-spirited way.
I've never heard it in a mean-spirited way. I usually hear it like, "Nah, I got you, fam. You're good." Like that kind of context.
Huh. I guess it's all about who's saying it. Oh, of course, I also heard it on Doctor Who, but I was like, I don't know what this is all about. But Doctor Who had its own issues.
Yeah, that's a show I'm not super into. I tried. I really did when I was in high school. It just did not stick.
Let's see here. Who's your favorite Godzilla YouTubers besides... well, to be honest, Gojillian, I don't know many other monster movie YouTubers. I'm sure Kaiju has its own dedicated fan base, but I think that most of the really popular videos are usually by people who talk about movies in general, like Jeremy Johns talking about the most recent Godzilla movies, or Chris Stuckman. But I don't know of many dedicated kaiju YouTube channels. And when they are, they're usually summations of the monster's history. You know, when they first appeared, what roles that they had. I would very much love to have someone take King Ghidorah and study the three-headed monster aspect and what meaning does that carry, or Gamera was this monster that's meant to be friend to children. Why a turtle? You know, ask the questions that really aren't just knee-jerk reactions to did I like it, did I not. Fair thing to articulate, but I feel like you can go further. Go beyond, as My Hero Academia would say, plus ultra.
Sorry, I gotta like stand up and just stretch a bit. I've been sitting on that chair for a while.
Don't worry.
Also, remember stretch and hydrate, old man.
I'm doing my utmost.
You keep a water bottle by your desk, right?
Yes, I do. Although, in truth,
Okay, good.
my water bottle went missing in action today. I've got just bottled water.
Huh. Well, either way, you got something.
Yep. What do you think is the future for Tempest Shadow after My Little Pony the movie and after the My Little Pony season finale? Did you know she did not fight in the season finale? She did not fight, but she was there. I think adding her strength to the unicorn shield. I think one of the dangers in talking about a character's ability to fight is that you not simply define them by their capacity for violence. That there's something more at play with them. And Tempest, she knows. Well, honestly, I think her becoming the next captain of the guard makes a lot of sense. She's learned about it. If Twilight ever wanted to start, I'll borrow the title from the franchise, Guardians of Harmony. You know, a task force she could commission to go out and help others. Tempest would probably be first on that list. She's very capable, far-traveled and knowledgeable, able to hold her own, but she's also learned more than a bit about friendship, and therefore, she'd be a prime candidate. So I could see her doing a lot in service to the crown. Whether it's Queen, Twilight, or Princess.
Alright, to both of us, what are your thoughts on Karen Plankton from SpongeBob SquarePants, and will I stop calling Silver an old man? To answer number one from my end, I think she's cool. I like her sarcastic attitude, even though she's a computer. And no, I will not stop calling him an old man.
Me.
Deal with it.
Me.
Meh.
Me.
Meh.
Mm.
Meh.
Well, this is where I must confess that I didn't watch a lot of SpongeBob. It was just after my time. Going through that phase where you think you're an adult, so you have to act like one, and then you realize a genuine adult is so secure, they're actually okay with playing the kid a little.
I guess I'm privileged in that regard because I grew up in a generation where it's like, nah, you don't have to be a 100% adult all the time. It's normal to be a lowlife. That's a terrible way of putting it, but I say it more jokingly than anything.
I mostly know of SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward. I don't know of this Karen.
Karen was Plankton's computer.
Huh. They have computers underwater. I can only imagine the surge protectors.
I mean, they have fire and bonfires that exist underwater. They addressed it in the show.
Well, they have underground. There are underground
maybe not
volcanoes.
addressed, or like acknowledged.
They have underwater volcanoes. I mean, you get something hot enough. Of course, then the water is then probably scaldingly hot, and they should all like burn in a fire. I went to a dark place. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
That I went to a dark place?
I mean, I know you. You're always going to find a way to go into the dark place from the most innocent of topics.
That's how I roll.
I mean, look at the way you portray Mantine.
El Monte Diablo. Yes, for those who don't know, Christy showed me.
Eddie.
Sorry?
Sorry, go ahead.
Christy showed me a video of Mantine playing with an Eevee. Apparently, that's like a thing in the newest Pokemon series. They just have an Eevee palling around.
And it was adorable.
It was adorable, but
Actually, it's the previous series now, but it was during Sun and Moon era.
It's when it's the time just before Ash actually won a tournament.
Yes.
My God. Alert the press.
Yes, I believe it was Lana's Eevee.
Who is
the water type person?
Lana?
Lana's like this rip-off Misty, I guess. I don't know how to describe her.
Lana! Does she
I don't know how to describe her, but she's like super ambient. That's the best I can describe her.
Does Lana train in the danger zone?
Do I like One Piece? Yes, I like One Piece, so I haven't had the time. Do I like One Piece? Yes, I like it, but I haven't caught up with it in a while. And do I think Cozy Glow is crazy? I mean, you tell me.
Let's see here. Oh, the question, what's your favorite arc in My Hero Academia so far?
My favorite arc?
Yes.
I haven't thought about that. I like the La Brava and Gentleman. Was it Gentleman Criminal? I forgot his name.
Oh yes, Gentleman Criminal and Love Lover.
Okay. But yeah, I love La Brava. She is super cute. I love that arc. I know I shouldn't be rooting for the villains in the show, but they were precious beans. I can't help it.
I believe you. There's nothing wrong with rooting for a villain, especially when you feel they've got something to them. Case in point, the hero killer. Badass. Just badass. But my favorite would probably be Deku's first few weeks at school and seeing him really having to step up. Even having his he always calls him Kachan?
Yeah. Bakugo.
I'm not always great with names. But Bakugo, I mean, after he basically told Deku to go die, like, literally, it felt so gratifying to see Deku not humiliate him, but assert himself. That meant a lot to see. So that was probably my favorite. Plus, you got to introduce all the other students and how they work. And so it was all great, in my opinion.
We have a lot of questions for each other and stuff. I was asked, do you get involved in any other live stream like events? I like your personality and wish you could do more of these. I actually, on Twitter, if you follow me there, I post sometimes, hey, I'm doing a live stream, come join me. But it's always on Twitch. And I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do those, because when I get back to school, I'm going to be loaded with a bunch of schedule stuff. So I don't know, if you want to follow me on Twitch, look up my name and you'll find it easy.
AnimeChristy?
Yes. That's pretty much where all my media is. Just look up AnimeChristy and you'll find me somehow, somewhere.
Someday, somehow. In space.
Yes.
With a dandy guy. In space. I'm in space.
However, just a warning, I don't do any MLP related stuff anymore. That's just my personal preference now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, last week Ellie talked about folks trying to diversify. But here's my question. If someone were to, say, commission a group piece featuring characters from multiple franchises, would that be of interest to you?
Anything but My Little Pony, because I've gotten to that point in my life where it's like, I need to draw more
Hmm.
than just ponies, because I hate to say it, and I know there are a lot of people who have come up with a lot of different shapes to ponies, but most people rely on the defaults when it comes to pony OCs. And I don't know, it's really hard to explain without explaining, because I don't feel like I owe anybody an exclamation on why I just don't want to do ponies anymore.
You don't owe
But at the
anyone.
same time, I feel the need to.
You don't owe anyone an explanation. It's just it's your time and effort, and you put it where you choose.
Exactly.
Now that's it.
However, I am also willing to like work out like, okay, I can do a human version or a furry version of this character. Just don't make me draw the pony. Please.
So an anthro version.
Maybe not an anthro, but furry. Like any other species other than equine.
Oh,
If
oh,
I want to go see an equine, I just gotta go visit my brother and his many animals. Oh my god. My brother got a donkey recently after buying a bunch of goats.
is your
And he named the donkey Yzma from the Emperor's New Groove.
is your brother Dr. Doolittle?
Uh, I don't know. He has 3 horses at this point, one of which he's had since I was like 5. He has chickens. He has like, let's see, they're the 2 Rotties, the 4 puppies.
A partridge in a pear tree?
I can't even count how many animals my brother takes care of, on top of being a massage therapist.
Oh, that's fascinating.
That is fascinating, yeah.
Hey, ha! I had no idea.
I didn't have any idea either until I saw my Instagram and it's like, oh, there's a donkey. Wait, Kel, what did you do again? No, no, you bought another animal? Jesus, how many are you gonna take care of, boy? Then I talked to him over the phone, like, about this, and then he's like, oh yeah, I got a new horse. You liked it on Instagram, remember? Wait a minute, I thought that was Mosby. Nope, that's another horse. His name is Striker. It's like, oh my god, Kel. I love my brother, but like, why do you have so many animals? Are you going to become a gay farmer? Is that it? Is that your new life goal? I'm so sorry. I'm missing everybody's questions and all that, but I just had to go on that rant.
Oh, there you go.
Uh,
Well, you mentioned the pony designs being a default, and that reminds me of Champ to Stay daring me to do a Simpsons quote in the voice of the character. Well, clearly, there's Homer Simpson in space. The 2 greatest
oh, I
words
can
of
do
the
that.
English language: default, 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 default. And then he gets clubbed into unconsciousness.
Then there's the Ralph voice. I. What was the quote? I like men now.
I'm Idaho.
Me fail English? But that's impossible.
Oh, I bent my Wookie. Context: who, what, dat?
I cheated wrong. I used the Lisa name, but the Ralph answers. Oh god, our conversation has defaulted into Ralph quotes.
Oh, well, we're back to full circle. Default, default, default.
uh,
So,
now people are quoting Ralph in the chat, and it's fantastic.
of course. There's also a question: do I like Sideshow Bob? I feel like he's run his course in the show. I mean, how many more times is he gonna go after Bart and fail? Although that would be dark. The final Simpsons episode, Sideshow Bob finally succeeds.
Well, they already have a Treehouse of Horror in the later, more modern episodes, which I will not force you to go back to because I know that you're not a fan of that.
Well, I love the
I really like classic Bob though.
I love the Treehouse of Horror when it was really about Halloween. These days, well, I don't know. They lack a certain je ne sais quoi.
The je ne sais quoi is lacking.
The je
Yeah,
ne.
I kind of agree. I mean, I don't really like watching a lot of the Martin episodes, but Common records all the pretty much every episode he can, and I usually go back to like the classic episodes, like at least up to season 15-ish. That's as far as I go.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Also, I saw Anthony sing in the chat. Hi, Anthony.
Hmm? Anthony sees
What, you
you?
didn't see Anthony in the YouTube chat?
No, I think I was. Shouldn't he be asleep right
He
now?
said, and I quote, "My cat's breath smells like cat food." I don't know how well my Ralph impression is.
Well, it's better than my Homer impersonation.
Do I even want to hear your Homer impersonation? Honestly, I feel like you could do a decent Sideshow Bob if you really wanted to.
Well, I could perhaps affect the pride, but not the Kelsey Grammer flair. Okay, what was it? That episode where Sideshow
Do
Bob
I
is.
do anime portrait art?
Hmm?
Sorry, I saw a question up like, do I do anime portrait art? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Silver, could I give you like one of my art pieces to like reference on stream or no?
Sure,
Like of what my skills at the at my peak where I am right now,
of course. Shoot me a link.
which is going to be Pokemon, I guess.
Also,
Happy
apologies to folks on Twitch. I feel like I've neglected your questions.
collected.
Let's see here.
I
Dimension
don't think there
Traveler
is anybody on Twitch.
Alicorn. In what state do you watch a
Anyways,
priest sneeze and sit down? Massachusetts. Well done.
but yes, there's a pic that I posted in the chat that you can just copy. I guess I don't know,
Ah, here we go. Although, oh, this will be an interesting
but yes,
experiment.
for reference, this is where my skill level is at the moment. Just for people, you don't have to commission me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel so bad. I feel like I'm self-promoting.
It's okay. It's okay to self-promote. But here's last time I tried to put an image in Illustrator, it like inverted the colors. Let's see what happens here. Nope, this one's on track. Now this is
Yay!
Nessa, right?
Yes, Nessa and Milotic, which you may have to zoom in a bit.
Which is
Yep.
not a Lapras.
Okay, there you go. That is not a Lapras. No.
Again, I must criticize for its lack of Laprasness.
How dare you?
I dare just fine. Thank you for asking.
I mean, if you want me to give you like a Lapras image, I can easily do that too.
Just watch you probably draw a Lapras being chased by a horde of Mantine.
Maybe I'll do that one day. I don't know.
But no, come on. You're being very hard on yourself. I especially love. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with Pokemon names. You just said it.
Here's a reference image to like all the candy bag keychains that I've currently worked on, I guess.
But I love the Pokemon's eyes.
Thank you.
They're well, fittingly very watery. And alive.
But yeah, I think this piece took me about like a couple of weeks to make. Mostly because I was experimenting with darker skin tones and also watery effects. Because the watering effects took me forever to do on that Nessa pic.
I can only imagine.
However, I'm still very proud.
As you should be.
Yes.
Now, see, there's a Lapras. See, I'm happy now. Oh, but yes,
Yeah, there's a Lapras.
Melodic is the, what was it, the ugly duckling of the Pokemon universe. It evolves from this little guy into this
Yep.
elegant being.
Oh yeah, that's definitely it. I still like Feebas though, even though it's not a very attractive looking Pokemon.
Well, everything's relative.
Uh,
I'm sure it's very attractive
it's
for
kind of
its.
like if I had to describe it, it's kind of like the Cabbage Patch Kid motif, where it's so ugly it's cute. And also, I think Common is home, and
Well,
that's why the dog is barking.
well, I don't.
Sealy!
Well, I don't want to delay the reunion or sharing of how the day's been. But
Oh no, he'll be fine. He's just gonna come in and probably like sit down and, do stuff.
do Steve. Well, truth is, I've been doing this stuff for about 2 hours, and I try not to hold people for
At least
longer
we've
than
kept
that.
it productive.
Oh, very productive. I've made great strides with Sniper Nighters OC, and well, made some progress on Twilight. I mean, honestly, does anyone else feel Twilight's got a little bit of narcissism with how much space she need? No, she needs to be in a library. My prediction,
Mm-hmm.
can't I bet you anything? In the last problem, we see her throne room, but I bet you there's like hidden panels of books just nearby, just so she knows there's a library in Wings Reach. Twilight must be in a library. It is universal law. But I mean, just the sheer space of this area, and all the books. Which, by the way, if
I
you,
mean, if I were into books and could actually stand to, if I could actually stand to like read a book, like without getting bored within like the first few pages, and actually kept up that habit over time and became a bookaholic. I mean, would you want to be anywhere without a book? Hmm.
I've, I've watched Reader die.
Also, hi, baby. Want to say hi to everybody on the stream?
Oh, is manga
Hello.
comment?
How you guys doing?
Hi, manga.
You okay?
You tell me how I'm doing.
Uh-oh.
I'll. Oh my.
2-inch new scar from work.
Oh.
I sense that there's medical need or at least attention. So I think now's a good time to.
He's got a band-aid. He'll be fine.
Oh yeah, just a 2-inch bloody scar I got going on there. I'm fine.
Ugh.
I really am. Don't worry.
I'll give you love and kisses and kiss your boo-boo after the stream, okay?
Don't be silly.
You know I'm being a little turd. Now come here.
Well, fine. You don't get anything when I brought.
Okay. Anyways,
well, I need to share with everyone my game plan for the coming week because a new bit of information came up that, well, several bits. One, when I looked at my YouTube channel, I realized that I've done several streams, but I need to get a video. That needs to be more of a goal. And my patrons have been doing votes on what they'd like covered next, so that'll be my next big goal. But as I think for a shorter video, next week, Equestria Daily is having a Griffin and Hippogriff Day. And so, as I was talking about studying the meaning behind monsters in Godzilla, though there's a question of what's the history of griffins and hippogriffs in pop culture, in mythology, pop culture, and how does that apply to MLP? So I think I'd like to make that a priority. But knowing myself, I'll be editing down to the wire to meet this day's deadline. So I'm going to need Friday of next week for editing. So we're going to take skips on the stream for next week. But then I shall return, and in the meantime, I will do my utmost to keep going on patron fulfillment pledges and backgrounds and all manner of good things. Now, Christy.
yay! I'm special. I'm the season finale.
What do you have coming down the pipe?
I mean, I honestly have no idea. I'm just going home within 12 days, so that's gonna be exciting and sad. And the dog is staring at my boyfriend who has food and is wagging her tail up against the box, so I apologize. Sealy, go lay down.
Oh, that is, believe me, I know that steady rhythm of a wagging tail from my own dogs.
But I honestly don't really have anything on the agenda other than work on art and post it on Twitter and maybe ArtStation if it's good enough.
Well, excellent. Well, I encourage everyone to check out her ArtStation and see her gallery.
Thank you.
So you'll find a link to
Also,
that.
I no longer do pony art, so if you're going to expect any of that in the future, be disappointed. Not that I'm trying to, like, alienate anybody in the audience, just a fair warning.
But there is some Pokemon art to be seen. And I definitely think there's some...
there is Pokemon art. I'm trying to get some more original content made, though. Mostly because, yeah, I need to have more on my portfolio other than just fan art.
I get you. Well, fan art's a great way to test new things and experiment. And then you make the leap into your own creative work. Well, I take that. I should rephrase that. All fan art is creative work, but it's your own unique IP.
Like fan art in of itself is like an extension of like somebody else's idea in your own creative way, whether it be safe for work or not. And I do both, so I know. But original art, you find your own inspiration and you find your own means of, hey, here's something to separate myself from everybody else. I mean, look at Has Been Hotel. That's getting its own TV show after a span of at least 7 years of not really being in development, but at least being up in the air. Because I looked back on Vivsy Pop's channel recently and found some really horrific old art of angel dust. I assume you know what I'm talking about, Silver, or else I should just stay silent.
No, I know Has Been Hotel. I actually just saw that news today, which congratulations to them. Though, if anyone uses the phrase overnight success, I will say wrong.
Wrong. Especially since, those characters have at least been in Vivsy's mind for a very long time. Like, towards the beginning of her YouTube channel, long time.
So I hope it will all bear success. Bear fruit. But
now, if only we could get Lackadaisy its own first pilot episode, and then I'll be happy. Do you know what Lackadaisy is, Silver, or no?
That one I'm not so sure of.
Okay, Lackadaisy is like an alternate universe that takes place in the 1920s during the Prohibition era. And it's based around in New Orleans, or a New Orleans-like city, but it's with cats. But it was recently announced that Lackadaisy was getting its own animation pilot, and it's in the works. It got a really good Kickstarter, but man, the characters are just expressive and gorgeous. And if anybody knows Angel Dust's voice actor, Michael Kovich, he's voicing one of the characters. And it's the second one that I just posted to you, Silver.
Excellent.
But yeah, it is a webcomic being turned into a animation pilot. But the art that the original creator does for it is mwah.
Oh, there's a ringing endorsement there. Mwah.
Just chef's kiss.
All right. Well, for right now, I think we'll call it an evening so you can go give a chef's kiss to Manga Commons Owies and Boo Boos.
I'm going to send you one character, though, like, after the stream ends, that I think you'd be particularly interested in. But, yeah.
Excellent. Well, for right now, I want to wish everyone a fun, safe, and healthy weekend, and just take it easy on yourselves. Again, if you're if you're trying to be a creative and doubt is plaguing you, don't feel bad that you feel doubt. Everybody feels doubt, but don't let it rule you. As Sean Connery said, punch the keys, draw the art, just draw a line on a page, and just see how it keeps going from there. Often, your biggest struggle
Are you
isn't
kidding me? I
creating
love pineapple.
your biggest struggle is not creating an art piece. It's just starting to draw. The art piece almost takes care of itself after you draw that first line. So, and Christy, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So, I will catch you all again. Have a great weekend. I'm Silver-Quill. Thanks for watching.
Me.